It is Wednesday, my dudes, in some parts of the world. Here it's Tuesday, but we carry on regardless. It is November the 1st, 2022. Session number 43. How's everybody doing?
So good.
Oh, good.
So good.
Happy to hear it. What happened last time?
A lot.
Psychonauts.
Psychonaut.
Yeah, pretty much. Went in Rook's brain.
Yeah. Journey to the center of the rook.
Yeah. Saw some scaries. Bought some things.
Mhm.
Pretty much that.
King died.
There's-
Millicent died.
Yeah, we all died. Half of us died.
Aelith died
The rest
briefly.
of us almost died.
Yeah. Can't believe I
Yeah.
That one's less surprising.
From Swift. I have something against Swifts now. Let's just have some beef with her now.
She's got
Yeah.
beef with you, so.
Yeah.
We have beef with each other. That's a one state I do not follow. That's all I have to say.
Okay, but at the same time, I'm imagining that like meme of just like, it's like, you killed my friend. You was like, do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah.
All my homies hate Swift. So yeah, you guys are in still Onrich. No time had passed while you were inside the mind of Rook, so your long rest still applies, and you're still towards the end of the second month of the year. You got about a week till that, and you guys can kind of just do as you so choose. I believe there was talk of robot dogs potentially.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But you guys are pretty much have free reign to do as you will.
According to my money, we've perhaps already bought the dog, correct?
Yeah,
Along-
I bought the dog, and
dog.
you bought the.
Pile
you
of
guys
bugs.
split the
Bugs.
We got bugs
bu-
that we didn't
bug
use.
box.
I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of Scythe in my inventory.
Yeah, go right ahead and do that.
Matthew,
Goodbye.
I don't. When we got bug box, you put it in the chat, and unless somebody grabbed each of the item cards, I think those might have disappeared.
I can
Yeah, I did not put
remedy
any of them
that
in here.
easily enough.
I would like the bee and the mosquito, please.
I would like earwig.
Yeah, you go for it.
Go for it.
That should be all of the things.
Don't think I really anything.
I take the beetle because it's cute.
You go for it.
I'll just take
Great.
what's remaining.
If nobody wants it, King would take the toolbox.
Yeah, do it.
What does it do?
It just like repairs stuff that you put in it.
Yeah, go for
It also will heal any of those bugs if they're left in it for an hour. But he's assuming that he's going to be with you guys for a bit, so if you need to make use of it, then you can do that. Somebody can put that in their inventory. Note that you have it. So that, yeah.
I'll do it.
But yeah, we'll just say that.
No, it
Yeah,
also
seems
for
like
the
a
moment.
cinder.
gives
thing.
charges back. It also gives charges back to the things that have charges if you store them in there.
Oh shit.
Guwan!
Oh. Oh no.
It's only if it has clockwork in its name.
Damn it.
Oh.
We all have amulets.
Clockwork
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Do we
like,
all throw our amulets in there? Like on short.
We all hit
Strap a
all the
gear on
time.
this bitch.
Yeah.
Clockwork amulets don't have charges, I don't think. I think they just have a
Oh,
one use.
Once per day.
But we can pretend.
But we can pretend.
You can pretend all you like.
Imagine that it does.
It's not gonna work,
That's what
but
Nelson
you're
said.
welcome to pretend.
Well, The full text is any magical item with clockwork in its name regains all hit points, yada yada. If the magical item has charges or additional magical properties, it regains 1d4 expended charges and the ability to use those properties again.
Okay, so you're right. So the clockwork amulet would work.
Wow.
Oh, let's go.
once-
Nice.
It says once every 24 hours. I don't know if that means long rests or
It means 24 hours.
actual. Okay. So there you go.
There you go. There is another
Yeah.
additional use for that. So you can, and it takes an hour to do that. So basically, you can get 2 clockwork amulets a day. And I am happy to just assume that if you use your clockwork amulet in a battle, then thereafter you will put it in the toolbox.
Yeah.
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 I'm not going to force you guys to bookkeep that. You can just, for as long as you have this on one of you, for all intents and purposes, your clockwork amulets have 2 uses.
Cool.
Fantastic.
The only bookkeeping we may care about is it only has 4 containers in which you can put things. So if the bugs are in there, we will not be able to fill with amulets.
That said, the only bugs that are really likely to take any damage are probably the mosquito and the bee.
I am using the bee.
The rook bugs.
I'm tuning to the bee.
Yeah.
All right.
Bee.
You can
Oh,
do
that's
that.
true. You have a slot now, don't you?
I sure do.
He does.
That's unfortunate.
And my choices
It's-
were mosquito and bee.
It's extremely fortunate, actually.
And I suppose I'll heal people.
Oh.
Instead of
You could do
inject
that.
poison.
You could also do that with the mosquito if you just put a potion in it.
Yeah, but the bee is better for healing.
Unless you
I
make that a
think.
potion.
Yeah, what? 2d6 hit points. Nope, that's for the bee.
Yeah.
I didn't know the bee made that noise.
Yeah. I'm learning new things.
Oh, 1d6.
8 chart. So you basically get
Alright,
the
well, let me see if you get the
healing. You basically get the healing thing that Celeste has access to currently with the Warlock.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
expend 3 charges max at a time, so I could do 3d6. Or,
Oh,
less. But
It's not for nothing. Good to wake somebody up.
Yeah, especially
No.
then it basically just precludes you from having to use a spell slot on Healing Word.
that's true. Because that would also be my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly better.
Check the 10.
It's
Yeah,
actually
'cause
probably about the same.
I mean, because the bee could move around and heal multiple people. If I use mosquito, then that's just going to be once, and then that's it.
One heal per fight or 1
Yeah.
poison per fight. So it's the mosquito gives you versatility, but once a fight, the bee gives you just better healing word.
Yeah.
So it's like
The use case for the mosquito seems more likely to be as sort of outside combat poison opportunity.
fair.
Yeah. Well, bee for now.
Noted. And yeah, you guys are not on any sort of timeline or anything at the moment, so you are not that you know of anyway. And
Yeah.
That's
you
a
are
good caveat.
perfectly able to spend as much as you need in Anric.
Wow.
So you can assume that you'll get a short rest to attune to that.
Love it.
So yeah, if there's any particular downtime activities you guys want, we can go through day by day. I can let you know what happens as you go through each day.
Alright,
I
who's
have
on dog building?
What is the intention for the dog? Are you trying to make it its own thing, stand alone with a brain, and it can run around and do stuff, or are we doing my version where I put the spirit into it?
It kind of seems like since we have 2 different ideas and we know there is another chassis in town that we could use, we should probably just go buy that one too, and then we can work on both.
Well, I don't think we can
That-
afford that one.
How
that
much
true?
do we have?
I have 50 gold.
I have 350.
Oh, wow. How much is the other one?
495.
Wow.
I think he was asking $1,000, but he did get brought down a bit because, or
We can
she.
come back and be like, look, we bought all these bugs. We bought the dog.
Yeah.
Can you
We
knock a
saved
little
your
off on the big boy
Yeah,
here?
and I could also offer to like repair some of the other things that she has in that store to like. make
Oh
them-
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And also
could,
that on top. What does that bring us down to?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Rook.
All right. So minimum 22.
Oh yeah,
22 it is.
eloquence bar.
Nice. Oh my god, I forgot you took that. That's awesome.
Oh boy. Yeah, and Flash of Genius will bring that.
Here, have a and have a guidance as well while you're at
Dude, you
Oh.
might
my axe.
How much can we get?
it.
28.
Well, I mean,
27. Nope, 28. Yeah. You guys can get that for 500.
wow.
Great.
So can that one's just like an actual Warforged body, right?
No, it's like
Tin
a
Can.
it's
Or is it
Tin Can.
another
It's-
dog?
It's
Oh, Tin Can.
it's a spherical like body with one eye and then two arms that come up and down and then two spindly legs coming down.
You got an image for this somewhere?
I do somewhere. Yeah, I don't think it's in
Well,
Fantasy
then,
Grounds.
to be quite frank with you, I would like the dog. But I could settle for the other thing.
I was also kind of thinking dog, mostly because I don't want to have the spirit just make another smaller me, but I suppose that could be interesting. I'm gonna try it.
I mean, Alright, so I want to put one of my weapons inside of this thing or attach it to the thing. So either this thing's gonna have if this thing's gonna be a dog with a flamethrower in its mouth, or it's gonna be
Or a guy holding a
it's gonna
flamethrower.
be a tin can with a flamethrower.
I see. We had similar ideas with the flame-throwing dog, then.
Yes, yes. Or I guess I could put the crazy dragon tooth to the mouth of the dog. Those are my ideas.
I have a crazy idea.
Uh-huh. Let's hear it.
How hard would it be to repurpose the stinger on the mosquito if you're not using it for sucking things? Just like strap the dragon tooth to it.
The tooth would be a little big.
It'd be a little heavy.
The mosquito is this big? Well, yeah, it's like that
I'd-
big. It takes up a potion, holds a
A
potion.
whole potion vial
Yeah.
and a dagger. I don't know.
The dagger is like,
Ah,
I
never
mean,
mind.
this was an adult dragon that you took this tooth from.
I also guess what I
Yeah.
think potion vial. I think like potions in
No,
us.
I think a potion is like maybe 2 ounces of liquid at most.
that would be the difference. Okay, I was picturing like
Or
a soda
maybe
can
I
worth
could-
of material.
Yeah, I really don't. I'm not totally sure, but
Well, here's
Well,
another.
This is your homebrew world, so it is now.
well, the fact that the mosquito can be like undetected tells me that it's not lugging around like a fucking Coors Light.
I mean, it could now that you said it.
Yeah.
I accept this logic. It just was not what I had in my head.
If I were to try to make the dog, like, I don't know, just a functional and take orders, would I have to like attune to it? If it's its own being or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of gets into the weeds a little bit. Basically, what you're asking for is an artificer subclass.
Fair enough.
So it would be now. Actually, as it happens, King is a battlesmith and he does not have a steel defender, so he could just
Oh.
repurpose that, and he could use
Alright.
it, and kind of try to get at it that way, and kind of try to train have him work with it to accept your commands as well.
Alright.
But it would. Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, I don't know how much I would actually want to use it in combat. I just wanted a dog.
If you just want something, yeah, that you're not gonna probably use very much in combat, then yeah, that's definitely gonna be viable.
Okay.
I think you wanted a
Yeah.
dog with the comic effect of a dog with a flamethrower.
Yeah. For non-battle purposes.
We wanted the group mascot, basically speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a dog
It would
with
be a
flamethrower
small
for
fire.
non-combat purposes.
It'll be a smaller fire, not the actual flamethrower, because I want that.
Yeah.
I was just looking at my inventory trying to think, like, what other fun item integrations could we do? And I saw, like, grappling hook, obviously. And then I saw the foldable boat. I was thinking about, like, imagine attaching it to the dog. The boat folds out. He's just doggy paddle motor in the back.
Yeah.
You just put
As soon as I saw it, my brain was like, yes.
you just put like
Oh my
you attach it to the middle of the dog, so the dog goes like slinky with a boat in the middle.
Oh my God.
We're about to have a mascot that's a very bullshit version of Scooby-Doo.
Can I just put a bunch of my like random shit and attach it to the dog? Just like have a little bubble gum slot so I can use my bumblefucks and you know.
Yeah.
Dispenser.
It's not working with a dog with my dad.
Yeah. He'll just be like, he'll make it his steel defender so that it like you'll spend a few days kind of repairing it and making it
Yeah.
powering it basically via his in artificer magic. And then you guys can attach whatever stupid shit you feel like. For his part, he will make an alchemy jug and put it in its mouth
Alright.
Oh
so
no.
that the dog can vomit
I love
beer
it.
or mayonnaise.
Oh.
I love it.
Why? Not the mayonnaise.
And he'll just do like, remember that like crocodile dentist game where like you would press down the teeth?
Oh, yeah.
Each tooth will just be a different liquid that the
Oh my God.
the alchemy jug can produce.
Ah.
So you can make him just like dispense beer.
Apple juice?
So I guess I'll work on the tin can version.
Okay.
So there are two different dogs. The one that Cinder's working on, though. Whatever.
No, there's,
Cinders is
there's
not
a
a dog.
dog and a man-shaped thing.
Ah.
And the dog idea.
Vaguely
Yeah, you're
humanoid.
like, so I am making the man-shaped thing now.
Oh no.
Bye.
It's very vaguely man-shaped. It's basically just a ball with 2 arms and 2 legs.
So it,
It's got the right amount of appendages in the right general places.
So your idea was to sort of make a shell that the spirit could inhabit and pilot, basically, when you summoned it. Were there
mechanically thinking like something that could be a different stat block than what he has, that when I summon I could choose between just letting him out being him or into that thing and using its stat block.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was why the original idea came from the dog, because I thought Hellhound, but we could do something with the man-shaped thing and make it into like a
Yeah.
bruiser thing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be... Basically, it would have a higher armor class. It would lose the teleport. And probably the... some of the physical immunities that the spirit has. Like, it would probably lose, obviously, the immunity to grapple, prone, restrained.
Yeah.
But it would gain AC, it would probably gain some hit points, and it would probably gain, in addition to the ranged attack that it has, it would gain a melee attack that would deal, like, fire and bludgeoning. And it could probably... yeah, we can workshop. It could gain, like, a grapple.
Yeah, we could figure out the specifics as we go, or we could even build stuff into it with King's help. I did not expect this to be a immediately complete downtime project, because I'm going to be abusing a couple spells into shape to get this to work.
It won't be complete. I mean, depending on how much time you guys spend here, I suppose. But yeah, that's definitely a direction that you can go. And basically, it would be when you summon the spirit, you can choose to summon it into this instead of just out in the open.
Yep, that was what I was trying for. So
Yeah, that's definitely doable.
I'm expecting this to take like a Rook and the Axe level of kind of time because I'm going to be. What we had talked about when I ran this by you the first time was we were going to. King had some designs for like where the connection points and the magical power that they got from the ley line or from the grid lines flowed, and I was going to replace that with plants that I grew with plant growth and cantrips and such. And once I had that like network start using Awaken to get it like a baseline power, that then the spirit could inhabit it so that it wouldn't take me with it when it went in.
And that it would be
That
able
was as far
to,
as we got with it.
It would be able to like walk around and obey basic commands while the spirit was not inhabiting it.
Yeah, basically just be there so that the spirit would be all I would look for otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely doable. For the first week, I would say, he'll be working with the dog and just, you know, setting up that bond that he has as an artificer with it, and that just kind of wakes it up and puts it online after he finishes repairing it mechanically. And it's like it's basically, you know, he is attuned to this thing as a battlesmith, but you know, he will also work with Rook just to attach whatever dumb shit they want to him, so he can do all kinds of goofy things. But thereafter, and during that, he would kind of give you some notes about places that you could start to kind of connect plant things to the chassis, and the spirit would spend some time inside it and kind of help you kind of point things out as well. So I would have you just do a general wisdom check just to see what you're able to accomplish. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Did I guide on that? There's not a skill.
It just kind of represents your efforts over the course of the week.
Okay.
You make a lot of progress, though. This thing is pretty bare bones and spindly, so there are a lot of places that you can kind of strengthen with plant growths, lots of places that you can reinforce and kind of build out basically a rough nervous system to just kind of control and move and add some mobility. King would come by and take a look at it every so often with you and kind of help you pinpoint those areas from what he knows, and you kind of build basically a engine of sorts in the center of it that would be powered by the wildfire spirit. Instead of...
Are we going to be taking a long rest here? We're going to be here for at least a full week?
Feels like it.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any harm with that, and we've had a bit of a time, so I'm not gonna complain.
Yes, I think
Okay,
a breather would
making-
be appropriate.
I was just making sure
Hey.
before I started burning magic on this.
Also, with the whole relic conversation, the scythe, and the fact that we're just kind of allowed to be here for a long while, I was kind of curious into researching more of the possible relics, but like I guess it'd be mostly a question for you, Rook, and maybe King, as far as like, were there any prominent saints from Saltenbrock? Like as far as, I mean, as far as possible relics that could be here while we're here.
Oh,
I don't really know. I don't really follow the...
am I aware of any that like lived here or whatever?
Make a religion check.
Okay.
There were a handful. Obviously, the main one that you know of would not be here. But there was Torin, the Saint of Riflemen, who spent a lot of time in Zeltenbrock, a number of years before your time. Kind of towards the end of the Zeltish dynasty. He was a dragonborn that originally came from the Dragontail Mountains in Tycon, but he was a big leader in the Zeltish military. Trying to recall who else. Brun, the Saint of Tinkerers, was a human. Also an early kind of around the sort of industrial revolution, the first time around in Zeltenbrock that happened about 500 years ago. He was a revolutionary inventor that a lot of people say sort of paved the way for the eventual discoveries that happened. Brahm, the Saint of Gridliners, as well, although how much use there would be for whatever he might have left behind is questionable.
It could be useful for after,
When we
I
go back,
guess.
yeah, when we go back.
Potentially,
Yeah,
yes.
we'll have that. Since
Potentially.
who knows when we'll get to Zeltenbrock.
Do I have any ideas where these people like were centrally located? Like maybe the Tinkerer in the Onric or something? I don't know.
He likely would have actually been in Drexler.
Oh, yeah.
But
If
where his
we want-
relic would have ended up is not necessarily known.
Anybody's guess. All right.
If we
Do I
want
know? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if we want to try and look for these things, the orb can now do up to a 5th level divination a day, so I can just legend lore for free every day.
But do I know what they are?
You know that the Tinkerer, there was also a Saint of Armorers as well. You do know that you've heard that he was a Zeltish man, but you've heard that his relic, along with a handful of others, was probably in Alakesh, where the smiths are, kind of to the west of Tanagra.
Right.
You heard that the Saint of Tinkerers had like a set of tools that he left behind that was sort of passed down through a lot of kind of people who eventually became known as artificers. The rifleman, you also imagine, most likely left behind a rifle that he
Yes.
kind of invented the system that, of combustion that those run on. You don't imagine where that might have ended up, but
Boy, I'd love to find out. I'd love to know where that rifle is. That sounds cool.
the other thing of note is that in the last 75 years or so, the leadership in Zeltenbrock has done their best to sort of hide the existence of these particular saints because they do not want to be affiliated with them. So any relics of theirs that may have been discovered in Zeltenbrock were likely destroyed.
Oh.
But who's to say where those things ended up? Some of them left them behind to particular individuals or followers of them. Some of them just left them wherever they happened to die, and they are still there.
Well, out of those, I mean, one could still be in Alakesh, because that was like the
Armor.
Yeah, it was like a magical anvil, if I recall correctly.
So that belonged to the Saint of Smiths specifically.
Oh, okay, that was a different one.
But the armorer
the other
one
one
is likely there as well.
So at some point, we can pay a visit there. We might as well if we're down in that area, anyways, because there's many places down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interested in exploring. First, we have to figure out how to get around.
Yeah.
Out of the ones that may possibly up here, I would like to know if the rifle is up here and still exists.
Yeah, and I mean, all I need for it is name or describe a person, place, or object. So I could say the rifle of Saint, and that probably is a good enough
Saint
description to get us started.
Torin, the
Saint Torin.
Dragonborn Saint Torin, his rifle.
That's probably enough to at least get us started. And then, while we're doing this, can you religious folk think real hard and see if you can remember if anybody heard a story of what the item was of the Saint of Sailors, Aegeron?
Phantom Sailors? Wasn't that the
Yeah.
flag?
That was the Saint
Yeah.
of Pirates.
Oh,
Oh.
I'll think real hard.
Also worth
Or your
noting,
dad, or Celeste.
that the legend lore spell has some pretty costly material components.
Which was baked into the crystal ball's description, as it counts as the
Is that
material
okay? Well,
components.
great, good for you. I can't remember.
I did that?
Let me
Yeah,
double check.
You're
You're
right.
gonna
No, you're
have to-
correct. You're correct.
So you're gonna have to think
There you
about
go.
all these relics right.
Yeah.
Almost.
I'm game for it, bitch.
May I think real hard about what the Saint of Sailors thing was?
I will also try to think hard.
Celeste, yes. Rook, no. You have no reason to know that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I was gonna say with disadvantage or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no. That's just not
Can
going to
I-
happen.
Can
I don't give
Can
a
I
shit
long
about
shot?
sailors.
I long shot roll it as well? Because it was
Yeah,
one of
you-
the few that
you
I think
worked-
Cinder
you-
knew about when he came up.
Yeah, you did work alongside worshippers of that saint, so.
Can I just do it for shows?
I will
-1.
guide Celeste though.
I mean, I do
Alright.
follow
Although
powers.
Who were you looking for,
I would have guided
Millicent?
Celeste.
Whoever, probably the sailor one. I was anyone.
You wouldn't know that.
I wouldn't know that.
You don't know jack shit about sailors.
Millicent wanted to be involved.
She's from a desert in the sky. Those are two things that don't have anything to do with boats.
It's just a Spider-Man thing where she sees everyone thinking. She's just like,
Mm-hmm.
You're like, rope?
Something about rope. Maybe a boat?
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Paddle?
Celeste, actually Celeste and Cinder, you both know about this fellow, Saint Aegeron. He was a half-elf. Folks say that he actually originated from the Southlands, which he did not refer to as the Southlands, but that is what the people of this area of the world referred to them as. So he was kind of a foreigner. But he quickly became a sort of champion of the people. This is pre-Ascension history. This is a guy from a long, long time ago, sort of one of the first real actual saints. And some say that he actually is the first, which is why he was a figure that you actually studied a little bit, Celeste, because there is some report that he may have actually introduced the powers that be to the people of the lands now known as the Skybound Lands. Because, and some people think it might have originated as a religion down in the Southlands. Anyway, he was well known for using a magical compass that he claimed pointed him wherever he needed to go.
Ah.
Where that ended up is long since lost to the pages of history.
Long
There-
shot, but I'm gonna look for that.
There
too.
have been many who claim that they had his compass. Many boastful sea captains that you would have run into, Cinder. The verity of those claims is suspect.
Okay. Today I'll try for the rifle. Tomorrow I'll try for the compass. The compass is kind of a long shot. I'm still, as we're doing fun pet projects, literally, kind of in the back of my head trying to think about how the hell we're getting across an ocean full of sea monsters. So,
Yep.
yeah.
I think
because
we
I think the
should
next order
solve
of
that
like
stuff
relevant,
once we get towards the water.
yeah, I think the next order of like relevant business is go see Tor. So we have to figure that out.
I just want to put this out there. I know I was just, all that stuff happened and all. Pheromone isn't looking so hot, guys, but I'd love to know what's going on. And maybe
With-
if there's people there, we could help them out. Also,
with
being that I
mounted
don't
undead
want.
men.
Yeah, well, it's getting closer to Onric as well. I don't want this place to get fucked. And none of these people are going to be able to do
Yeah.
anything about saving them.
That's fair.
Just
I
put
was
that
about
out
to
there.
make an argument. I was about to make an argument about pay grades, and then I remembered that we fought a god in your brain yesterday. So maybe an undead guy is in our pay grade now. Sure, we can look.
Yeah. It's no problem.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, it. Honestly,
Yeah,
if it
there's
was
a problem.
I'm also not certain that Rook knew about that.
Yeah, I'll just say yes. Whatever you said, man.
I
Sure,
think if it was
fuck it.
just us and the horsemen, that'd be one thing, but the horde of the undead is where that quality versus
Yep,
quantity.
the
They do have
moving
quantity.
mountain.
Yeah.
I could build another bomb.
Right.
Bad day for you
Just
not to be
blow
a
up.
cleric anymore.
I'm sorry.
I'm just,
Are
what?
I'm
clerics
just saying.
just not a thing in this timeline?
No,
Is-
they are. They're just not as common.
I mean, one of your two friends up in Zealand, aren't they still a cleric, or are
Yeah.
they not?
So is the version of her that's here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The
We
version
could
of me that's
go-
is a Tempest cleric.
Could hire one of
You
them,
go
yeah.
request for their aid.
Yes, but we do have to go.
Yeah, that's like
Back up there.
that's like every
Yeah.
cleric's dream, right? To be in the middle of a giant horde of undead things and blows them all up.
See, there we go. We'd make her day.
I'm not sure make her day would be the right term. I think the
Make her
right thing
weak.
would say.
We'd give her a chance to do something really good for this country.
I don't think you're convincing her.
I was going to say make
I
her
don't see why
sigh, desire
not.
for a bottle of wine.
Oh, yeah, I could give her some alcohol or something. Try to convince her to. Do you think that'll help?
No.
Oh,
We
The problem is not. I'm sure there's still the desire to help out. It's just also we gotta assess the situation, figure out what's actually going on, if they're actually moving upon the town or not.
well, they're at least getting closer
Yeah. Well.
within the past like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
we also do need to determine how we are going to contact these people for whom we are asking aid.
Yeah.
We don't have sending aid.
I just ride on over there. I don't know. It's like 3 days away, right, Ziegland, from here?
4, yeah. 3, 4.
It's my
It was-
thing that I'm requesting, I guess. Okay. First of all, do any of you care about doing this? I guess I should start there.
I mean,
do whatever. I can't
I-
build anything. I'm just here.
Yeah, I know it's none of our business, really. No one over there asked us for help. Maybe because they're all dead, or they're evil and they made this thing. Who knows?
it's
Would be anything.
listen, it's
Be a lot of things, really.
I care.
Maybe like
would say-
relics over there, huh? What do you think about that?
I would say yes, I'm interested, maybe a little less than you, but yes.
Okay, well, I'll take that.
I care, but
There's
also
a-
we just come off a week of nearly dying several times.
I know. There's a Saint of Necromancers. Maybe that's involved.
Of course it is.
I was gonna try to scry, but you need to have seen it.
Also, it's
You
the
scroll on
horde is
the
approaching Onric,
grove?
right?
It was
Actually?
just sort of going back and forth. There wasn't really a defined like direction of the motion it was taking.
I think we need to find a. I want to find out more, but how do you find out more about this random headless horseman with a horde of undead?
Oh, he has a head.
Well,
Floating horseman
Nearly headless.
with horrifying red eyes.
you're right. The right eyes. How could I forget? Anyways, the point still
I don't
stands.
really think there's too much to be able to find out about that.
No. I think
Yeah.
Long shot.
Maybe
you
you could try to. Can you do a legend lore on that?
I
The
could try.
ghost
I was also
person?
gonna say, I would need to describe a person. His name would probably help.
Name or describe.
You could. Okay. Yeah.
He's a big, scary
try.
dead man on a horse.
Yeah.
With
Glowy
glowing
red eyes.
Maybe describe a little bit more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, where they go during the day, huh?
You could.
Where they at?
You could also try writing a note to Gaius and sending it with the ring. This seems like the kind of thing he might know about.
I
If
mean,
it's powerful enough in this timeline, it's
I do think it is a fairly new.
Yeah, I mean,
occurrence.
I've never seen this when I lived here. So.
Might not
Never
be
mind.
in his timeline.
maybe this version of Gaius, if we can figure out how to get him off of the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, the whole get him off the bottom of the
Well,
ocean thing is the main.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little
No,
bit
I
of
think it's us having to go down there somehow, which I don't know how we're gonna do either.
Oh, I have potions of water breathing.
Yeah, but that's still the
Yeah,
bottom
how
of the
long does that
ocean.
last?
Cast that too.
We don't even know what part of the ocean. We don't know
There's
where.
also water pressure.
That's
Does that take that into account?
I don't know. Probably not.
Great question.
It only lasts for an hour.
Ooh.
I can cast the spell version, which lets up to 10 creatures breathe underwater for 24 hours.
Oh, that's a little
That
better.
was probably the way we're gonna have to do.
Also,
that.
two of us don't even need that. So,
So true.
could you even go down there?
I just was about to say, I
Well,
am
wood.
actually a little leery of that now that I think about it.
Yeah, one of you would float,
A,
one
I
of you would
might
just
float,
sink.
and B, I might float, B, I might go out.
Yeah, I don't really like that. I don't like the way this is sounding.
You were on the ocean most of your life, and you never.
And it
you've
was
never
terrifying.
been-
Theory.
I,
We're not you,
Never-
obviously.
I never learned
I'm
to
it's a
swim. I was
package
on
deal,
boats.
baby. What,
I've been.
can't just leave me up here.
The,
Alright, well-
the extent of the swimming that I've done was with us using the shape water to keep water off of us.
Great. Well, all right. I guess that whole thing's a problem for another day.
I figured that we're gonna have a more magical means to try to get down there
I
when
could-
the time comes for
I could
that.
Put you in a bubble.
Oh,
Bubble. Bubble.
I like bubble.
Would the bubble just stay on top of the water though, or would it?
I have to. I don't.
Good
I don't
question.
really know.
All right.
We don't know the physics of this.
There's a lot of things we don't know regarding physics.
There's
Alright.
nothing
How
passes
each-
through the barrier, but you can breathe in there, which that doesn't matter. It's weightless. Hmm. I don't know. We could try it out, I guess. It only
Yeah.
it only lasts
At
a
some
minute.
point.
It only lasts a minute though. So
Oh, well, never mind. Then.
Oh,
I
we are really trying to come up with
Alright.
something that
It-
we're
he's not
solving a
going
problem
to.
that
He's
doesn't need
probably
solving.
not going to sink. His name is Cinder, and I don't think that's short for Cinder Block. So
no.
I think I could make myself sink for an hour. I could just cast stone skin on myself and turn into a rock for an
Oh.
hour.
Alright.
then you are a rock tree.
Or
Okay,
We're putting way too much thought into this.
Yeah, this conversation has gone way longer
yeah.
than I anticipated.
Because what the
Alright,
fuck would be the
so-
point of going down there to talk to a fucking rock who can't come back up with you because he's a rock?
Yeah, I feel
Like
like
the
we
library, isn't it? Are we
I could
looking for
put
the
him.
library at
I could
that
put him in a
area?
bubble.
put him in a
True.
weightless bubble.
Bubble there.
For a minute.
We'll put a pin in it for now.
No, don't
Put
put a
him
pin in
there.
it. That would pop the bubble.
Alright.
Okay.
I know you can pass through it though. Alright.
Oh.
No, I need the wine.
I could cast
Alright,
water walk on
so we're
Christ
looking
out
into
there
the
to rocket him
rifle.
up to the sun.
We're looking into the rifle and something else and the ghost, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was number 2? Rifle and
The compass.
Aegeron's
compass and ghost.
Yeah, and if there are other
Um,
saints that you guys might have a reason to know about, you are welcome to.
I
See
will
what you know
also look
about
up
them,
the
too.
pirate.
You know,
I
I'll
would
also
love
look
to
up the
know
pirate
about
saints
2 of them.
flag.
Do you want us just to write it down in the chat or send you a message or?
Just let's just make a list in the Fancy Grounds chat so that I don't go insane.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
do you want a note?
It's also
No,
worth
do it in the
noting
chat
that
so
we
that
can do one.
the
Okay.
session so that the stream can see it.
Alright.
We can do one a day.
I always want to see Oliver's weapon, where that is. Since I can't
Oh,
get
yeah,
to the other
defenders.
guy.
Now I feel like we've heard about Saint Orthog's weapon. Was that in Tanagra? Did one of those guys have it?
Yes, so the
That was a Knoll guy, right?
the headmaster of Tanagra used Orthog's weapon, and one of the other guys there used Oliver's. And from
Oh,
what you
well.
understand, several of the other saintly relics that are weapons are also in use by the various instructors there.
Yeah. And that's
Well,
why I
we
was like,
gotta
"Could
get
never
down
this."
there.
It's like I couldn't get it up there because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get that ever. But now we have a chance. I mean,
I'd
Well,
love to know about
Tanagra
that
is,
one,
is,
maybe.
is still a thing here, but
okay, but we don't know if they still have. I mean, who do I follow?
I'm looking up sailors and pirates in the hopes of finding something boat related to get our asses across the water.
I'll have
just
to look
put all
up
the saints.
leaders and pickpockets.
So I follow Asher, Corin. See, Corin is of Nomads. You know, I follow Gwindus. I don't know that's how you pronounce it, but that's the scene of doctors. I feel like that would be helpful for our group. That's one of my 5s that I listed as who I follow.
That's that healer's kit that Valiant had, right?
It might be.
I believe
Is
that was Kark. That was Saint Kark.
Oh,
Yeah.
apothecaries. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if we actually ever ran into this saint, but
Bryce.
Did I ever scry on him to see if he's still alive?
You did, and he was. He was living somewhere on a beach.
That's right. I saw him looking happy and alive. Damn, I want his ring.
I already have friends back.
Just look up all these different things.
Yeah. I was like,
Every day I can do
If-
one of these
If
or
we
a
know
scry.
about any.
Yeah, so some of them are things that you obviously you know about the compass. I believe I'm trying to remember. I believe Saint Oliver's weapon was a broadsword.
I think so. I couldn't remember.
Sounds
if
right.
Broadsword
And I think
had-
the other one was like a great. I don't know. I know one of them was just a humongous sword.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one was.
Let me
I think that was Orthog.
I think it was Orthog.
let me
He's what?
verify really quick.
Yeah. I thought Oliver was like a great thing.
Maybe both of them were big weapons. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think they were
so
both big weapons.
the Orthogs was an insanely huge like gnarly broadsword.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oliver's was a very fine Excalibur looking kind of long sword.
That's what it
Excellent.
was.
And the champion master there used that, and the headmaster used the broadsword because he was also a gnoll.
Now, Celeste, I'm just gonna take a wild guess for the Warlock one and say that may or may not be over in Aster.
That would make sense, honestly.
Because that's one of
I
the
might
that's one of the people that they collected, right? Sorcerers and warlocks.
Yeah, so that is a fairly recent development.
Oh, they were gathering people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Feels like it also may or may not be bad juju.
Mhm.
Well,
Just because your version of Warlock is friendly doesn't mean every version of Warlock is friendly.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like Findwell, the Saint of Paladins, might be interesting, but at the same time, I feel like hers is going to be a large sword or large weapon of some kind that Millicent has already a pretty good axe.
Yeah, and I was like, these weapons are cool, but I still like my axe, so I'm like, but they put out 2 different weapons. I don't think I can have that many
Alright.
weapons at once.
I'm just the 3 of you that are looking to see what you know about can just make a religion check for me. Just a blanket religion check, and I will see what of them that you have.
Oh, well.
Oh,
rip me. No, not the worst. Wait, how do I have +5?
Oh, come on. Every religion check, every time.
Millicent knows her stuff better than us.
I don't have +5. I get -1 to int.
Yeah, I'm just going off of things that I already know. I'm not
Yep.
trying to complicate the pile any further here.
Why was that roll so high, Millis?
I don't know. I'm confused. Because I rolled the right thing. Why is it...
I think we changed
I'm
what type of
confusion.
check the religion was last time or the time before for some reason or other.
But the other one, I think, rolled correctly, so... Yeah. 'cause my
What
other
was
religion
Rifle
rolled a
Guy's name again?
-1.
Oren?
Well, that was a waste of my religion
Oren?
check from the other one. I'm sad. I don't know shit.
I mean, maybe we could keep the first roll and just have it -1. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's fine. It'll be a 14.
That's
Okay, Rook.
Yes.
You of those 4, pick 2 and explain why you know them.
Oh boy. Pickpockets, because that's one of the things I did in the intrusion. And I'd say leaders because that was one of my end goals, is to lead the Warforged somewhere better.
Great. Rodney, the Saint of Pickpockets, you know, he hailed from a very small town in what was previously known as Jacob's Ladder, which is now just the Ladder. It is... he was sort of regarded as kind of the founding leader of the practitioners of the subtler arts, and for that reason, the artifact that most believe he left behind was just a set of 3 bracelets that they say he passed down to a protege who then got himself arrested, and nobody's particularly sure what might have become of them.
Okay.
And the Saint of Leaders was Asher. He... for what his deal was. Oh, he was from the... he was actually from the Unnamed Islands before the Ascension, when they were more of a kind of collection of free cities, and he was one of the first people to try and kind of unify them into from a disparate collective into a sort of from a disparate group into a collective. He was known for being a very good public orator and also an accomplished sailor, but not to the degree of some of the other more famous people. His greatest accomplishments were in getting all of those disparate peoples together. And many say that he had a particular set of books that he would kind of use and orate from, and they were just sort of selections of bits of verse and bits of history, and just kind of, you know, when he would get up and read from these things, he could convince anybody to do anything, and get them to kind of follow him and believe in his vision. Those books were reportedly in a chest that was in the shipwreck that killed him.
Love it.
Blessed, you can also pick 2 of your 4.
Alright, And gives her reasonings why.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and choose one of each. The Saint of Researchers are basically both Saint of Researchers and Archivist, but I'll focus on the Researchers, is Celeste was hoping to find. She was bothered by the fact that there's so much missing documentation and a lot of the archives that even she had privy to when she was the High Priestess. And the fact that that information was lost to at least Godsold and people in those conservatories, and so she looked into the saints regarding research and archiving to try to see if there's any holes that they're able to patch with the information that they may have collected or provided.
So you're doing Dextrin and Alexandra, is it?
Yeah, I'll focus on Dextrin because they kind of like
Okay.
similar areas, so I'll just focus on the Saint of Researchers.
Okay, just the one?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say those two actually kind of go hand in hand. So you would probably have known about both. They were actually husband and wife, which was an odd sort of thing. The other thing that's odd about them is that they both hailed from God's hold. And they were actually not followers of the powers that be. And their inclusion in the pantheon of the saints was sort of a bone of contention among your people, because they, the people who follow the powers in God's hold started to worship them as saints, sort of out of spite, and spite towards the church, not necessarily towards Dextrin and Alexandra themselves. They were known to be champions of the common people. They were well regarded and well respected, but God's hold wanted to claim them as their people, and the followers of the powers were not about that. They were like, no, they wanted to help us too. That's why they archived, that's why they researched, because they wanted to record the history of the common folk just as much as the history of the high and lofty. Dextrin is the item that you hear about him having left behind is apparently just like an oil lamp that he would use to stay up in the wee hours, poring over texts and tomes and guiding him through libraries. And they say that evidently it kind of allowed him to absorb knowledge in a more full way, in an easier way, that is actually kept within one of the God's Hold conservatories. It is not used, but that is where it remained. That's where it was in your time. The Saint of Archivists, however, she eventually, after Dextrin's death, which was evidently under some slightly suspicious circumstances, she left and went to actually hunt down some of the libraries that you were looking into. She always carried with her a particular bottle of ink with a quill pen, and nobody knows where she ended up, but they imagine that would be the thing that tied her power to her in her sainthood.
All right.
Which one are you more interested in?
Well, it sounds like we know where one of them might be, anyways.
Yeah, assuming it wasn't moved after it
Just a
was captured.
quick little jaunt over to St. Orthog and we'll find it.
It's also worth noting that Saint Dextrin, among a handful of other individuals, was actually one of the founders of the God's Hold conservatories many years ago.
I have this thus far.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for Matthew to go down the list as we go along. I get one a day of scry or legend lore. So I'm assuming we're going to spend, let's say, 2 weeks here. Because we've already burned we were already burning one on the working. and we've already got 10 days worth of shit for me to look at. So if we have 4 more
Oh.
things that we want to look at.
I mean, we can look
Actually,
at
I
some
think-
of the stuff while we're traveling, I feel like. We don't have to go through them all right
Yes,
now and
that's
spend
fair.
a whole day.
Also, which was Millicent looking for? I know the weapon of Oliver.
Oh, right.
Wasn't
yeah.
there another one?
The doctors.
She was looking into Saint Gwendis and Saint Corin,
Yeah.
which, with your roll, that's going to end up being a 14. You can get both of them.
Wow.
They're you probably in your time in the city as a kid, you would have probably found yourself in need of medical care every so
That's what I was
often,
thinking,
running
yeah.
around, climbing and falling off of shit that you
Yeah.
shouldn't be on, and also getting
Yeah.
into fights.
Yeah.
That would be where you heard about Saint Gwendis, in hushed tones, of course.
Yes, of
As
course.
any sort of worship was frowned upon there, but there were
Yeah.
small sort of
There's
discreet...
definitely no clerics, so
Right. So this was all purely, and she was the saint of doctors, not of clerics.
Yeah.
So she was purely physical
Yeah.
medicine, and there would be little
Yeah.
discreet shrines set up to her to kind of wish well over those who went to seek care. She actually was originally from Almarna as well, although she was the child of migrants, so she did not necessarily belong or fit in there. She also lived under the reign of Emperor Benzakir many hundreds of years ago, and was one of the people who kind of was a champion for the common folk there in terms of trying to keep everybody healthy amidst times of trouble. When people would go out to fight worms to try and gain curry favor, she would be the one to patch them up. She had a trying to think of the word for it. Basically, it was sort of a decorative a caduceus staff that she kind of kept on her wall of her place of living, and when she would move around, she would keep that with her, and kind of, she said it represented just sort of ancient magics that she heard about from travelers that would keep the people under her care safe. A lot of the people that you would see that were doctors in Almarna would have a similar iconography, although it was always discreet.
yeah.
And obviously you know about Saint Corin, the saint of
Yeah.
nomads. From your time as a nomad, this would have been the chief figure of worship for the people that you found yourself with. You also went and visited that shrine in the Holy Triumvirate, so you know kind of a bit about his escapades.
Yeah.
A figure of completely unknown origin. He just sort of ended up wandering around all around, by land, by sea. He just kind of traveled, and the stories surrounding him are shrouded in mystery. Some say that he lived pre-ascension and guided his people up here from the Southland. Some people say that he lived during and after the ascension and was one of the first people to kind of study and create the hoppers that they used to travel around. Some people say that he hails from another world entirely. Not much is really known about him, other than that he carried with him a spyglass. And always kept an eye on the horizon.
Those are potential things that we might need.
I threw them on the list.
Everything else I know, or has been mentioned. Cool.
So the first 7 we can just do because we're already here a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, Matthew, since the lamp was in the conservatories, was that something I could have seen?
Yeah, you probably have seen it.
Okay,
was
so
like
that's something I could scry in my
Is it
own time.
like a museum piece kind of a
Yeah,
thing?
it was kind
where-
of kept like in the center of the library behind like a magically protected glass case.
Okay, so if you can scry on that one, I can knock it off of my list if
Yeah.
anybody wants to add anything else. I have a couple scries on there that I was interested in. In addition to all of this shit that I was going to legend lore, I want to scry on Spindrift, Tanagra, and Midas's Gateway to see if he's still alive in this, since I know Valiant is, but I don't know where. Maybe I can find Midas and find his ring.
Yeah, that should not be a
So-
bad idea.
Cinder's kind of
Because,
one-track minding on the getting around faster thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a good one though.
Yeah.
If we could just do the rifle one, just because we're here and this feels like this might be the place where it'd be, then all the rest of mine you can save till some other day.
Same
I
with
had
mine.
the rifle as second. I have compass first, just purely selfishly, and then rifle,
Yeah.
and then I had
Okay.
a weapon. But I could change something else into third. Fourth, I had Spooky Ghostman Dude, so we could put Spooky
Yes.
Ghostman Dude
Yeah,
to
put
third.
him third.
I would,
Put him
yes.
third. I don't need a weapon where I think one of the more utility ones might be better.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I just made you a weapon. What are you talking about?
I'm not,
Well, and
it'd be cool to know.
Celeste
but-
has seen Oliver's weapon as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's right.
Okay.
So
I mean, I could use a new weapon. Just saying.
that's what the rifle's
I thought
for.
the longsword.
That's
Yeah,
number two
that's
already.
what.
Can
Oh,
you
that's
use
what the
longsword?
rifle was.
I thought the rifle was
yeah,
for me.
it's here.
Ah.
If it still exists, then yes.
That would be pretty good though.
You can give it to
Alright, then I'm
the.
gonna
You can give it to
place-
the spirit robot.
What do you
Oh,
have?
yeah.
A gun!
No!
Then I'm moving the weapon of Oliver down, and I'm moving the bracelets of Rodney up because those sound like something that we could get into some shenanigans with.
I'd love it.
Oh my god, you're on board with the shenanigans? Let's
Uh-huh.
go.
I'm on board with Rook being able to get away with shenanigans without dying.
Oh.
Since he's going
Ah.
to do them anyway,
Yeah.
I might as well give him every chance at success.
Listen, I feel like I'm a changed man. Like a slightly changed man.
I feel like you will feel that way until we get into a city full of opportunities for
Things.
crime
Yeah,
and valuables.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do shit, but
I think if we want more healing, I think
He's
it'd be
doing it
good
for
to
good
look-
now, not for evil.
I'm doing it for
Yeah.
good.
to
Huh.
look into the staff if we're looking for more healing, since there might be some properties with that.
I could
Even the
move that up.
spyglass would be good for maybe traveling once we get on the sea. So
Yeah.
not right away.
I
I
was-
feel like
Should I move up the pirate flag? Because apparently that was supposed to like make your crew better.
Well, I imagine that's on someone's ship.
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to
I
definitely
imagine
upgrade that.
You know what? We might as well
I have a
because
good
let's
guess
see
as to
who's on
who's.
ship who's. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
true.
I have. My guess is it's either going to be on somebody I used to know in Spindrift, who was a total
Or-
asshole, or Ben.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought maybe Ben's grandfather. Who
He's
Isn't
not a
he the one
pirate.
that's
He's
going
not a
on?
He's
pirate.
not a pirate.
Ben is-
Okay.
For the
Ben
last
is-
time.
No, I'm not saying that he is a pirate. It just makes the boat better, right?
Well, yes,
And
that's
he
true.
went around and conquered places,
Well,
right?
he basically just sailed over. Like
Oh, okay.
it,
Well,
it
then
was
never
it was
He's
mostly an
actively a pirate.
army. Like he built a navy so that he could surround the island, but he didn't really.
Okay. All
He
right.
wasn't really going around like conquering
Oh.
other places. Like,
Well, then yes, maybe Ben.
Well, now I'm curious, so it's going up.
the reason why it was a big deal that he built all those ships so quickly is because it allowed him to transport an army to
Right, okay.
God's Hold when nobody else had any means of transporting
Yeah.
across the ocean.
Okay.
But yeah, Ben's the one that's sailing around and raiding.
Right. All right. So what's
the
our 7-day forecast here? What's
standby?
Yeah.
we got
Why
the
did-
rifle, we got the ghost, we got the compass.
Here's
bracelet
the most updated version.
lamp.
Oh,
Yeah. I guess during this downtime every day I'll just keep checking in the ring, or as often as I'm able to, just check on Dwayne, see if there are any updates, since we have a lot of downtime. And if Dad has been finding out ways to get rid of Scythe or any updates with that. What else is going on?
I'm gonna say we take a break here. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
I got some stuff to figure out.
Okay. I was also gonna just do some RP with some people too, if you.
That's fine. I have to pee though, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do that
Use
after.
Okay. We'll take a quick break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll do that. And
Eh.
then we'll do the other thing. Okay.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Great. Great.
guess my stream deck is hooked up incorrectly because I pressed the button for this one and it took us to the starting screen. But we're here now. Oh,
Here we are.
man.
We did kind of start, if you think about it.
You right?
Just now.
Just now? We're starting? It is Wednesday, my
Yeah.
dudes.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. So good.
Stay Groundhog Day. It's fine.
So good.
We're
Happy to hear it.
it.
Good lord. November. All right.
As you can tell, we are all so put together today.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. First day, I work on that dog with my dad to work some shit out, and then I go knock on Millicent's door,
Oh.
or
Okay.
go find her or whatever.
Yeah.
Wherever you
after?
would be, whatever you're doing this week.
Not doing. I'd just probably be chilling, helping out.
Processing trauma.
Kind of, yeah. Go inside my ring, talk to Dwayne, come back out. Kind of just process dying again.
Yeah.
Kind of dying twice within. I don't know how long. A week of each other. So.
Millicent, hello, it's me, Rook. Are you in your ring right now?
Maybe. No, I'm not.
I can hear you, so no. May we speak, please?
Yeah, sure.
Great. Yeah. Hi. How are you doing? How you holding up?
I don't know. What do I make for like mental check? Just curious. I don't roll for it.
Whatever you want.
Huh. Would it be wisdom or int?
Probably wisdom.
Probably wisdom.
Make a save. You can make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Hello. What's going on back here?
Let's just see. Holding up. I mean, a lot to process for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of just like slight distance from Rook than usual. Just kind of like, definitely could tell she's on edge, but.
So, the last thing that I remember is that I was gonna hand Millicent my scythe, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm drawing a bit of a blank as to what happened before.
Oh.
Would you mind filling me in?
Yeah.
I know that we got rid of the scythe.
Yeah.
That much I'm caught up on.
Yeah. Looked like Swift was not happy about what we were about to do. And
I've
you
pieced
killed
together
me.
that much.
You killed me. You actually killed me. And
Oh.
I know that wasn't you, but it's just still kind of strange because it was still kind of you. Do you still hear any more connection with?
No, I don't. Pretty sure she's out.
That's good. Then after that, luckily I was revived by your dad. And then we went into your brain like a week later. Do you remember anything from there?
No, I don't.
I died again.
How did you go into my brain?
Saint Aelith kind of got us. I'm not really sure, to be
Okay.
honest. It was really weird, but we kind of
that's
just
fair.
to the brain. And then I died again by Swift again. So
Wow.
I don't know. You have a really scary mind, and that's saying a lot coming from me, who has just. I'm used to fighting a lot of weird shit, but now you had a lot going on there. Do you want to talk about that?
Not particularly.
There's a lot of scary monsters in there, you know.
That's news
Like-
to me.
Like almost like Copter kind of level. That
Oh, that's terrible. Well, I have seen some shit while I've been with you guys.
that is true too.
And also Swift was in there, so maybe
Yeah,
she influenced it a bit.
possibly. I don't know.
Alright, well, I guess first things first. Obviously, or at least I hope you know, I've been, you know, maybe this is all a failure on my part, lack of insight, of, I guess maybe I shouldn't have come to you about Swift.
I mean, no one could have predicted that was gonna happen.
Sure. I mean, I guess I could have, foreseen that she would be angry, but I mean, I didn't expect her to do any of that. I'm sorry. I understand if you want to keep some distance for a while. Yep, I guess that's it.
I mean, I accept your apology. I know it wasn't you. I definitely know it was Swift after all this. It was definitely her. I just might be a bit more on edge. I still a lot too. Because it did feel like you, but not you at the same time. And
Maybe now's the time to come clean too. I don't know if you've picked up on the things, but way back when we were fighting the flame dragon.
oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, for the Fool's Banquet.
Yeah, when I was over there with Celeste and Jared, well, some of the things the dragon did also influenced my mind a bit, and I may have killed Celeste. But she got better.
Well, obviously, but why did you guys say anything? You mean someone died already? I wasn't the first one.
No.
That kind of explains a lot how you guys act around each other, I guess.
I think she just doesn't like things that I do. It's fair. I understand, but
fair. I mean, I knew there was tension, and I thought it was something else, but that also makes sense.
what do you think it was?
I mean, don't you guys have a thing for each other? That's what I was thinking this whole time.
Oh, like a will they
There's like
won't
another
they
layer
kind of
that
a
I'm not
thing?
really sure what's going on anymore. I mean, it might be a.
No, I don't think she wants the
That
thing that
definitely
you were
complicates a lot of
thinking.
things. Oh.
Yeah.
I think deep down, but with that into the mix, now I'm not so sure. I can.
I mean, look, I don't know why. Look, we all keep on getting these things, fucking with our heads, and we all attack each other a lot. It just so happens that sometimes when my mind gets taken over, people actually die.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault you. I've also almost killed one of our friends, so
Yeah,
I do
me.
understand.
You've almost killed me multiple times.
And I think I
Yeah.
almost did Celeste too, actually.
Yes, also that, yes.
So I'm not
Like within the
faulting you.
past 2 weeks.
That's
But
why.
yes.
That's why. I'm not upset at you about what happened.
Oh,
It
I'm
was
glad to
scary,
hear
but
that.
I almost did the exact same thing right before. So I understand, but it does scare me how often it could happen and how dangerous it has become for us. And
Yeah.
I am concerned.
Yeah.
I would like to find a way so we can better prevent that, I guess, because I really do not want to make it permanent for any of us.
Well, yeah, I don't know any great way to do. Maybe one of these relics or something.
Maybe it can help us.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how else to do that, but it's become more of a concern to me as time has gone on. And
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna keep dealing with these saints, we definitely need to watch out for the scary ones.
Yes.
I mean, at least now it's gone, since Dad has it. Who knows if we can actually get rid of it, but...
I feel like he's probably dealt with things of a similar nature, sounds like. So, or at least dangerous things, right?
Yeah.
That's his
If
job.
anything, at least it can stay hidden where no one else
Yeah.
can get to it, so...
Away from us on a different timeline.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess now I'm filled in, thanks. Sorry again. If you ever need anything, I'll be working with my dad, probably. Do you need anything, Millicent? You want like a hug? Okay, alright, I'll bring it in. Alright, give her a hug. I have my bee go and do a little healing surge.
Thanks.
Yeah. Alright, well. You have anything? I'll do whatever I can.
I know. I mean, you made me this cool axe right before all this happened, so I mean... upgraded my axe, so...
Oh. I hope you love it.
I do. I really do.
Excellent. Okay, well, my dad says maybe I should talk to the others more other than just you, so I guess maybe I'll do that at some point.
That would be good.
Yeah. Do you think I should make them something like I made you that lava lamp that one time?
Yeah!
You think they'd like lava lamps?
Well, that's my thing.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's like,
Maybe I'll... I don't know, what kind of things do you think Celeste would like?
flowers?
Yeah, you think I should get us flowers?
Yeah.
Just walk in with a bouquet and say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, maybe some candies? I don't know.
Yeah, some nice box of chocolates.
Yeah.
All right, you got it, Millicent. I'll get those things to talk to her next.
If you need help, I can help you with that.
Will you?
Yeah.
She's ready.
I don't know if that's the right approach. What about Cinder? What about Cinder? Huh?
Cinder.
I don't think he obviously won't like chocolates.
No. Nothing food. No drink.
Yeah, maybe picking flowers isn't the right idea for him, since he's part plant.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be like offensive or something.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how he feels about that. He kind of just burns everything too, though, so he's kind of...
Yeah, both of those are a no-go. Alright.
I mean...
Oh, he likes wood carving.
Yeah, maybe we make it like a tiny boat, because he used to sail.
Oh, fantastic. Alright. I'll go pick up some tools, I guess. I don't know, dude.
I don't know.
I'll go pick up some tools or something.
Yeah.
Thanks for the ideas, Millicent.
I always got him.
Yeah. Okay. I'll leave.
Yeah.
I'll go try and find something that I can carve something with.
Your dad can give you that.
Dad!
Dad.
Yeah, what's up?
I would like to...
How did it go with Millicent?
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
He doesn't seem mad.
Ah, she's young. They bounce back quick.
Oh. Do you have something I can use to carve wood good with?
Oh yeah. He pulls
Oh.
out like a whole chisel set.
Oh, okay, thanks. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Why do you
I
want
won't bother
that?
with the other thing. Oh, I'm gonna make cinder something.
What was the other thing?
Nothing. Well, do you think I should get Celeste something as well?
Something like what?
Well, Millicent suggested flowers and chocolates, but what's that face for? Is that a yes? I should.
I'm not making any faces. I don't have a face.
Oh,
You can tell. Am I
What was that
getting?
movement
Am I
for?
getting expressions on this? No, that's good. Uh, what's your goal with regards to?
to create a better relationship with them.
I don't. You know.
Would you
I-
don't think she'd appreciate?
No, it's
Those
not
things.
that. It's just. This is kind of weird for me.
What?
Because you
Gift
know,
giving?
Celerio with it's like you both.
What about it?
I'm gonna go.
Wait.
That's a fine idea. It's a fine idea. Millicent knows what she's talking about.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go contemplate my life. I see you.
Alright,
I'm
bye.
gonna go make something.
Alright. I go find I don't know. I'll go buy a log, I guess. I don't know. Buy something I can carve.
Yeah, head over to your local Blammo
Yeah,
store.
I don't know. I just find something I can
Or
carve. I
find
don't know.
wood. You don't have to buy a
Yeah.
log.
Yeah, I don't.
Rolls downstairs, alone or in pairs, over your neighbor's
Yeah.
dog. It's great for a snack.
I'll try to carve a boat.
All right, make a dexterity check.
Okay. 14.
It's sort of boat-like. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what boats look like.
Make like a model canoe.
Yeah. That's a boat.
You can try to attach some sails to it later as well.
I'm sure he'll love it.
We'll jump back to the Rook escapades, but for now, let's do some legend lores.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Let's intersperse our little misguided Rook vignettes. What are you looking for?
Going down the list. Start with the compass.
All right. You sit down with your crystal ball, you and the spirit, and you see Aeleth's face appear in it, that same bluish kind of hue as you saw before. Well, hello again.
Hello.
Does
We all seem to be back and whole, or as much as can be hoped for.
that's good.
Were you
okay?
in there for the end of that?
I had a tenuous connection. I could sort of see. I was.
Did you know Rusty was there?
Oh. He is far after my time. And, well, many of the saints exist in another layer of reality. I do not. I chose to stay here, as apparently Swift did as well. But he apparently is up there in that pantheon. Which grants him certain abilities.
Which I think is probably part of why we're still alive.
Seems that way. I was concerned about being able to get you all out of there. I'm glad that well, it's serendipitous that Rook happens to carry the artifact of the Saint of Liberators. Free you all from that, because I don't know that I would have been able to.
Apparently they knew each other in some fashion.
I guess so. Interesting.
I didn't know Rusty was a saint till I got up here and met them and heard about it. So
He's the most recent.
recent indeed. I was coming up to look for him.
Oh,
Thought he was still alive.
well, suppose he is in a manner of speaking. I don't imagine the circumstances surrounding his death were especially pleasant.
Seems like that's the case with most of the saints, from what I can tell.
Well, martyrdom is certainly an easy way to gain recognition, I suppose.
It's a bit tragic when you think about it, given that the old gods are gods due to sacrifice, and many of the saints got that way from martyrdom. But doesn't speak particularly well of religion in our world here, does it? Dangerous occupation.
Religion is a tool and a force. It can be used for good or ill, but it isn't either in itself. It simply is.
Many force to be playing with.
Many have done great things through their faith, and many have done great evil. We can only hope to tip the scales one direction. That's why I chose to stay. I thought I had more to do, and apparently I was right. Let's take a look at this compass, shall we?
Yeah.
What can I find out about this? Well, evidently, from what I can see, the stories about it were true. Egoron the sailor indeed possessed this. Interestingly enough, it seems to be an even split between the saints who carried a tool that they used often and became known by, and in their death and elevation to sainthood, it became imbued with power, and the others carried items that were already imbued with great power and used them to sort of do the great things that they were known to do. Egoron falls into the latter camp. He found this compass, I know not where, but it did point him towards his... Well, he says at times it pointed him towards his heart's desire, and at times it pointed him towards where he needed to be. But since his death, I don't know that anybody has actually came into its use. There are many copies and many fakes, but I have reason to believe that his compass lies with that which killed him. And it seems it's someone you've met. Certain five-headed creature of largesse.
Great.
But
I'm knocking that one off the list.
It might not.
On that?
It's interesting because it seems as though Asminar is attuned to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's utilizing it. Strange.
That's a lot to unpack.
Well, I never promised it was going to be easy.
In both, I guess you can only see the timeline we're in, right?
But this happened before the Ascension.
Yeah, I just wonder what being attuned to something that points you in the direction that you need to go when you can't go anywhere, what that does to somebody.
Perhaps we've answered some questions. I can only imagine. Probably a bit like being trapped inside a crystal ball 5 feet away from the person who killed you.
Though you seem relatively put together, all things considered. He did not.
I learned. Not everyone is as lucky. Well, perhaps that could be a conversation worth having with him at some point. I wouldn't recommend doing it here, but perhaps on your side.
That one does owe us a favor.
Pretty big one from what I understand.
And he has expressed a desire to speak, so...
What strange times we find ourselves in. Dalliances with leviathans are commonplace. Now the rifle is a bit of a different story. The rifle is, well, this allows me to see the legends surrounding it more than its current whereabouts, but evidently it was quite a powerful tool used by the last sort of brigade of the Zeltish army before the takeover. He was something of a hero to the Zeltans. I imagine he's somebody that Isaac may have known years ago, about 75 years ago, something like that. He met his end at the last battle in that war, but he saw his way to many a dead Blackmire in those initial days.
I would imagine then his artifacts either was at that battlefield or was taken away by one of the participants in it, likely one of the Blackmires.
I would believe so. I believe he met his end roughly. Well, the timelines would match up to him having been killed by Andreas's father. So knowing the sort of man that he was and his faith in his family and his line, I wouldn't be surprised if Andreas himself found himself in possession of this particular item. But who knows where it is here? If this
version,
if this world's Andreas is, as we understand it, perhaps a bit more lenient, could be somebody worth finding.
I'll keep that in mind.
Now, this ghost figure that we're looking into is an interesting case. This spell is only supposed to work with a legendary creature, and so I don't know much, but I am getting something. I'm seeing an elf. I'm seeing an elven man. I believe he's a Carpero, one of the families of Faramund. And I see a dark shadow encompassing all. But in that shadow there is a small light, burning bright, fearing to be snuffed out. Think of that whatever you can.
I can't say what I think that is, but I can say that I think it will give Rook all of the ammunition he feels to tell us to go there, so...
It does seem like something you could do something about. It won't be easy, but what is? And finally, the bracelets. These were the cornerstone of the beginnings of the group that would eventually turn into the intrusion. In a way, Rodney was sort of the first cockroach king. But he just did it for the thrill. He loved the art. He loved the craft. He stole not because he needed, but because he had to. It was what he did. And he didn't steal things of particular value or note. He just stole from people that you weren't supposed to steal from, that you couldn't steal from, just to prove that he could. I admire the tenacity to a certain degree. Until, of course, one day he stole from somebody that he definitely shouldn't have stolen from and met his end. The bracelets then were passed along to a... Before he found himself at his demise, his prized white gold and platinum bracelets were passed along to his protege, and from their protege to their protege, on down the line until it apparently disappeared a number of years ago. But I believe it wound up with the Ifriti. You see, the Ifriti guards the greatest cache of treasure. Whomever was carrying these bracelets couldn't resist.
That makes sense.
You'll have to look into that particular character to find a little bit more out about him, I think.
We find the Ifriti. I get the bracelets. I steal from the Ifriti.
It's straightforward from here.
Yeah.
So that's the first 4 days-ish. Rook, back to you. What you doing?
Wow. Is there like a wood carver here in this town?
Cinder.
There is.
Wow. Do they have like little figurines or something?
Yeah, I would say so. I'd say you can.
I'll find one that looks like a little strong person, one that looks like just a woman and a man, and one that's a tree.
There isn't one that's a tree.
Damn it.
I mean, like, he does have just, like, a tree. Not
Oh.
like a tree person, it's just a tree.
Is it like a small one though?
Yeah, it's
I don't
like,
know.
you know, terrain. Like,
Uh,
he's like the
alright.
only Warhammer player in the town, you know.
Yeah, no, I'll just go get like a branch with some leaves on it.
Okay,
And then I'll glue them all to the canoe I made.
okay. I'll say you
And
can
that'll
spend 2 gold.
Okay. And then I'll go to Cinder. Cinder! Cinder, are you in here looking at your crystal ball?
Hello. I was actually in the middle of fucking with this robot.
Oh, how's that going?
Fine.
Like growing mushrooms in it? Was that what we ended up on?
I'm trying to grow specific, like, connections, but that's not
Oh.
exactly how this spell is meant to work, so I'm kind of struggling. Not all of the magic has been as targeted as I'd want. And just look around, there's just a bunch of random fucking plants growing around for you. It's from casting plant growth many times.
I see. Here, I made you something.
Oh! A canoe!
Yes! That's us!
I see.
I didn't include my dad because he hasn't been with us the whole time.
Understand.
And I couldn't
And,
find one that looked like a small robot.
Well, I had no question as to which one was intended for me.
Glad to hear it.
Looks just like you.
I know! Oh, wait, I can get my tinderbox and set it on fire if you want.
No,
Feels like that would defeat the purpose.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I just, I thought perhaps you and I could just, if you want to do some chess again, or if you want to talk about things, we could.
Sure, I can continue losing at chess.
Great.
I'm
I'll set
a
up my.
little surprised by the offer of talking about things from the one who usually is less than interested in that.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know. We've all been traveling together for quite some time, and as my father has brought up to me, I'm sure you and I, at the very least, can find some common things to talk about and might be interested in.
Yeah, I think so. Not the least of which, no, go ahead.
I mean, I don't think I even know who the person was that made you and your people. Or at least I don't remember.
He was one of the early ones to awaken. One of the ones that Rusty helped get out. 4 was his number, name.
Would they? I don't know. What were they like?
Go. He was driven. I see why he and Rusty got along. I could never tell if I was intentional or an experiment, but once it worked, he was very set upon building a place and a community of his own.
Were you the first
A
one?
place to belong. Yes.
Oh, wow. Look, so much in common already.
I guess. I think that's kind of why I had to leave. I've been around a little bit longer than the others, and my connection to the spirits was always a little stronger than theirs. I'm starting to think that might have something to do with him more than me, but
Oh. They were like getting jealous of you or something?
no, him being Zoxfoy in here. He's never ceases to be full of surprises.
Oh.
I think he's
I'm very interesting.
probably just as 4 is more driven than others. I think this one might be more driven than some of the other spirits that were bound to my family, I guess. I
That's probably a good word for it.
made this a while ago when we were traveling. I haven't really done anything with it yet. Take out the big scrimshaw from where did we get? It's like an elephant, like a mammoth or some shit that we killed that I took a tusk out
Yeah,
of or a
I
dragon tooth.
think you killed
I don't remember what it was.
I think you fought a mammoth. Some fucking
Yeah, I
way.
have a mammoth
Yeah.
bit that I used for this. I don't remember the context that we fought a mammoth.
It was a
But
mammoth and
that's
like
what
an
I
ice
had
giant
written
or
down.
something.
I remember. Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. In
We
Giant
fought the
Land.
giants. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that checks out.
I searched for it in my notes, and all that came up was Brynchander.
That's
Wrong
yeah.
campaign.
Yeah. That's pretty good work.
It's in the background you see like giant trees like California redwoods, with a little like hut against one of them, and in the foreground you see a Warforged, which I don't know if you were around back then, but if you were, you would recognize him as 4. And in his hands is Zark's foot, and I'm kind of it's from a perspective looking up at them into the forest.
Yeah, it's very intricate, very detailed work, and then you look at your like little boat thing, and you're like, ah. It's like
That's really good.
it's like Claude Monet painting versus like dumping a can of SpaghettiOs onto a piece of paper.
I spent a while on it. This is also you memories. You have mental images. You can
Yes.
picture places that you've been and things that you've seen.
It's like earliest one.
This is the first one and the strongest. I can remember this more vividly than sometimes what we did the day before.
I think that's kind of the day that we really became even people. Because that's kind of my earliest too.
I'm guessing the memory that we have is that moment of creation, whatever that looks like.
Can't say my first
Why?
ones are really all that clear like that. I kind of slowly came to, but well, I guess I don't know how much you saw in there from what Millicent described you guys did somehow. But Dracula wasn't a fantastic place for me to be coming to.
We saw some, but from what your father said, none of them were quite correct. It seems like some of them may have been colored by your opinion or take on the place as much as the memory.
Hmm.
We saw what appeared to be the castle project, but certainly seemed sinister in the version that we saw. And that's not the impression I get from you and your father, so I imagine it was probably something a little different than that.
No, but the place, I mean, the area around where the castle project happened was. I always thought that factory looked, I don't know, foreboding, dark. Can I
That
describe it properly?
that I don't think you need to. That version we saw. I
Oh,
understand
well,
what you mean.
great. Um, so when you came up originally, you wanted to go and see the Warforged in uh, you know, in Zeltenbrock in general, yes?
Thor told me when I came up to look for Rusty. He said that he would
Oh,
be someone to help. I found out when I met you all that, well, things were a little different. So I just kind of
right.
lied and said he was one of the saints that I followed because I guess that was close enough at that point. I sort of was following him, just not in the way normally encountered.
Right. I when I was in the Three Brothers for years, one of the things I had thought about a lot, I guess, was that maybe because a lot of them were starting to awaken and they more or less just either got sent to the capital to be fixed or kept in the factory. Some of them escaped, joined some sort of group that would do what they could for the others. I always kind of wanted to be someone that would like, I don't know, lead them to freedom, I guess. That seems, I don't know how that sounds, but yeah, I don't know. That's just,
I mean, I kind of get it. Good intentions can sound grandiose when spoken aloud or tried to explain. I
yeah.
basically came up here to save my people, which sounds equally ridiculous, but comes from just as good of a place.
Yeah. I just found that I was good at certain things. So I joined the intrusion to maybe, they were in Zotenbrock as well. They had people on the sly there. Same with the Awoken. They were a group that people didn't like, or, that was kept on the down low. I was hoping to maybe eventually have them both help each other out. Maybe I'd be good at one and help the other, and things would turn out all great and everything, I guess. But
Things kind of got away from you from the sounds of it.
yeah, and I just kind of stewed a while. So I followed other things.
Explains the angrier version of Rook that we met.
Well, I set out to go find one black mire that I could start with everything. So I met you all in Julia. Originally, I was planning to interrogate her and maybe kill her, but she, I don't know. I guess she talked me out of it, or
Did she talk you out of it? Did she ever know that that was what was in your mind?
yeah, she knew. I threatened her with as much. Ben also helped talk me out of it a bit, but there was it was a big first step to take.
And others can help convince you, but at the end of the day, it has to be you that makes that choice, and it has to come from
Yeah.
something you agree with.
So hopefully, me saying this, I don't know if I would have killed her, but I decided not to, even when I had the chance at the start. Maybe I
think
just didn't actually want to.
I think with Swift, you would have. So
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
I'm glad to be rid of that and give you time to process this in whatever
Yes,
way.
I was much more mentally angry almost all the time with the scythe, but I was pretty strong.
You were terrifying, both combat-wise and morals. You were just a sight to behold. I will miss you exploding things like that lake monster, but I will not miss wondering if you're going to kill our friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all right. Now I have a bee.
I would rather us struggle and have to take combat and a little slower and take a little less risk for a while, but be able to truly trust the people I'm with.
Dude,
I hope
do you?
it's okay with you, but I think it was a change worth making.
Do you trust me?
A lot more.
Oh. Okay.
I think there's still some things going on in your head that you would rather not tell me. And maybe eventually we'll be at that point. Or we won't. Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're only at our second chess game.
Fair enough.
If you beat me, I'll answer a question. How about that?
Well, first I have to beat you, and then I have to think of a question.
Well, better start thinking.
Make some intelligence checks.
Okay.
Nine.
Beats you soundly. Best out of 3.
No, I have other things to do today.
All right.
Huh?
Leave the board. We gotta practice.
Okay. I switch out 2 of the pieces now, and just put the regular pieces on instead of my now 2 special pieces. It's like, all right, here's that. Just knock yourselves out, I guess.
All right, buddy. We're gonna make a whiz out of you. What does this one
Why
do
do I get
again?
the feeling you're going to be better at this than I am? Maybe not.
All right, I'll go ahead and make a check for him. You make a check for you.
Okay.
He got a 13. So,
All right.
buddy, get your head in the game. All right,
We've got to work on this.
Set 'em up.
Rook, before you go,
Yes.
I think I found your gun, probably.
Oh, the rifle?
Yeah.
Wow. Where is it?
I think Andreas has it.
Oh, fuck. Oh, where is he?
I don't know on this side. I don't know if this side even has it if he's as different from the other one, but
Shit. Rodney. Oh, fuck. All right, great. All right, well,
apparently Saint McShooty fought in the war between your family and the Blackmires and died in the last battle and was killed by his father.
wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, other than him dying by his father, but yes.
Sounded like he was quite the selfish hero.
Wow. Well, I'd love to have it one day. Maybe we'll find good old Andres here and take that gun from him.
We can certainly have a chat. And I think you were right about the ghost.
What?
I think we need to go to Farmand.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you mean it?
Well, more accurately, Aleph thinks so. So I will.
I've never met him.
Hold up the
I'm glad she thinks so.
Yeah, I don't know how to make that happen, so it's another time. Shake it a little bit, like nope. Then
Shazam! It says signs point to no.
Oh wow, look at that! It's the first time it's done that.
I leave and I go buy some flowers and chocolate.
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, back to the divinations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go ahead and do the scry on the lamp of dextrin.
All right.
Do it.
Yeah, I guess there's not really a save or anything involved in that. It's a lamp.
Brother.
Lamp.
You do see. Seems to be. You're looking at like a crate in a pile of crates in like a basement storage room that you remember from the tower in Godshold.
Oh.
They just Ark of the Covenant did it basically.
And then the Weapon of Oliver was something I've also seen.
Yes, that's right. You also get an eye on that. You find yourself looking at a desert area. It seems to be a courtyard, and it seems to be in the hands of the same person you saw it last time.
Oh wow. I'm not gonna try to fight that guy. I'm okay with my answers.
Is he by chance sitting right next to the orthog guy?
Seems to just be training on a dummy in the yard, doing some pretty fancy maneuvers.
I'll just assume though.
Okay. Cinder, you're gonna continue doing your thing.
Yeah, I think the next one on mine, since she has the lamp, would be the flag of Adrix.
The Aelith's spirit once again kind of congeals in the ball. That one's an interesting one. It does seem to bestow power or safety and swiftness of travel upon the ship that carries it. It's changed hands many a time. I don't know exactly where it is right now. I can't tell that, but it is on a ship. And it does seem to be currently being in use. Could try.
We had a couple guesses.
Doing some more specific divinations to narrow things down, I would recommend.
Could try scrying on individual people, but then
I
if
am
I scry on people, they would have to be near it.
I am getting something a little bit strange, a little esoteric, but it seems that the captain whose vessel it's currently on is someone that one of you has something belonging to them. I can't begin to imagine what that might mean.
Huh. I will have to think about that and probably talk to the others. That makes me think it's maybe Ben, because the only other thought I had was the old asshole from Spindrift, and I didn't keep anything from him.
Yeah.
So, out of character. I didn't, right? That's not where I got my totem, my little crystal. I got that from home, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. That would be the only thing in my head that I would have had for that long, I think. So we can talk to them.
As far as the staff, the Caduceus goes, that was something of an oddity. It seems to bestow a general well-being upon all who are within a certain distance of it. It was used to sort of bless her healing houses, and after her death, it was used to keep particular areas safe from infection and disease and madness. It was briefly brought into a rather fearsome dungeon, it seems, by an intrepid cleric that carried it. Wherever it is they brought it, I think they left it there.
Alright, so looking for a spooky dungeon.
Specifically related to madness or disease. Because that would have prevented it.
That would be a topic of research for another time, then.
And you were going to scry on Spindrift, yeah? Anywhere in particular?
I wanted to scry on. I was trying to dig in my notes to remember his name, but I don't remember offhand. Find it. The leader guy.
Jarkot.
So, like, I was on not his crew, but I was imagining that would have still.
You interacted with him, yeah.
I imagine when I showed up, they were like, "Hey, boss, look at the fucking tree."
You do not have any success with that. Could be any number of reasons why.
And what was his name? Can you type it out again? Just
yeah, let me pull it up.
Dig it up.
I'm
pretty sure you gave it to me
I remember
before,
it was
but-
Jarkot. I can't remember how it was spelled, so give me a moment and I can tell you that. He was a dwarf, formerly of Blackmire Industries.
Remember that. Oh.
And you were going to scry on Oliver's weapon. Oh, she did that.
Yeah, she was going to do that. Next was going to be
The books.
either Rook's books or Celeste's quill. Do the Rook book.
Okay.
We just had a nice talk.
Okay.
This seems to have been a mundane set of books that Asher picked up from a number of poets and other famous orators throughout history in this area and in the Southlands. He used it as a sort of guide to speak compellingly. But all the words that he used were his own. They seemed to mostly be almost like a security blanket for him, like a lucky charm that he would use when orating and trying to convince masses to follow him and see his side of things. And His success in that endeavor seems to have imbued them with some power in his passing, and he kept them with him always. His ship was brought down. I don't remember, I can't see exactly what, but wherever his shipwreck lies, they are still there, somewhere deep beneath the waves. But they seemed to... They are sort of an icon of him, an emblem of his resolve and persuasive knack. And it seems somebody who was to read them would become much better at those things.
Noted. This is all very good information.
And the quill... The quill is an interesting case as well. It, evidently, this was a relic that she found prior. It seems to have belonged to a very powerful cleric of Ogma, the old god of knowledge. And this quill, when written with... The power that it held at the time that she found it, it was pretty simple. If you wrote anything with it, you would never forget it. In her passing, it seems to have also been imbued with other powers as well, related to archiving and storage of knowledge. Seems to be the only thing immune to whatever it was that happened with Leroth. Knowledge that she had written down would have sustained despite his attempts to erase it. He sought it out because of this. I don't know if he found it. But if he did, it's probably somewhere in or around Lake Hall.
Interesting.
Back to
Interesting
Rook.
to Celeste and to Gaius.
And we can jump back to Rook before we do our last three there.
Cool.
Flipping through my book of proper behavior while I have my flowers and my chocolates. I was like, all right. I do a few prestidigitations on myself. I'll also do a prestidigitation to make a puff of wind on myself when the door opens. Yeah. Celeste, it's me. Can we talk for a few moments, please?
I'll open the door. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was
Hello! Oh shit, the book. Hello, yes. Here's some things for you. My book says that to help patch up some like a rough terrain of a relationship, that flowers and chocolates are a good gift.
Of a relationship.
Yes, we all have a sort of relationship, don't we?
Yes. Yeah, but flowers and chocolates are a very specific kind of connotation when it comes to mundane issues within particular relationships.
Do tell.
They're usually more for the romantic kind of mending.
Oh, whoops. Anyways, may I come in?
Yeah, please, come in.
Oh, thank you.
Anyways.
And now that he's eloquent, you will never incite him again.
I was about to say, I was like, is this man like sweating, or did he just like wipe every pore of like
that's why I prestidigitated myself.
his pores, or his just face is cleansed, hair is brushed.
Oh yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
he's looking like a cover girl model.
Contour?
I mean, do you like chocolates
I mean, yes, I do.
and flowers?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
God, it would have been funnier if you said no.
Actually,
I can
I'm
get you
allergic.
something else if you want. Well, how's it going?
Aside from confusion, pretty good.
Oh, fantastic news. Uh, Listen, I thought that maybe, you know, I'm trying to be a little better. What with, hopefully the whole scythe thing and me. I know that all was bad. I tried to get rid of it. And from what Millicent tells me, a lot of bad shit happened when I did that. But, uh, trying to be better, right? Right. And I don't know, I feel like maybe you and I have been traveling together for quite some time. We've done a lot of fighting side by side, healing one another. You a lot more than me healing you. And maybe I don't know, I feel like I don't really know you all that well.
Uh, well, fair for the amount of time we've been traveling. A weird thing to lead in with the flowers and chocolate and
Did it work?
all right. Let me get a pot of tea or coffee or something. Just
Okay.
it seems like you want to chat, so we can chat.
I'd love to.
I'll get that going and come back with. I'll grab coffee because it seems like a good conversation to have coffee. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Is this something that are you also trying to get to know, like, Cinda better as well, or is there?
Yeah, I did that like 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay. It's a round robin. Did you also bring him flowers and chocolates?
No, I made him a boat.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Was it just a little like wooden boat or like a paper boat?
Yeah, it was really shitty in comparison to whatever he did.
I
I
mean,
can't say I've ever carved anything in my life, but
yeah. Was that just an entire venture that you put together today?
yes.
Well, the intent and ambition is good, but I wouldn't feel bad about not being up to Zinder's carving level, considering he does that as a continued hobby.
So I'm gathering.
Um,
Speaking
is
of
there?
hobbies, what do you like to do?
I mean, I certainly like to read.
Uh-huh.
Like to read about histories, or on the
Yeah.
rare occasion, the arts if I have the time. Listen to music on the rare occasion.
Oh, fantastic. I play music.
I yes, Rookie, you do play music.
Do you play any instruments?
Oh no, I was taught a bit when I was young, but it was mostly for. It was mostly because that's what you like. I just come from a minor noble family, and that's kind of what you did.
You just picked up one of them, just it was like expected of you or something.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the lyre, but I can't say I was particularly good at it.
Wow. Did you ever want to learn again? Or was that just
But I mean, I guess, I suppose. When I was High Priestess, I was always busy and doing things, and then life got turned upside down, and then we've gone from one mess to another, so I haven't really had time to think about rebuilding my hobbies, to be frank.
right? Well, I mean, I feel like maybe I don't know. We could have some things that take us out of the hectic, batshit crazy stuff that we do ever so often. I could I could get you a lyre or something if you want to learn.
Do you know how to play the lyre?
No, but I also wanted to learn.
Okay, fair enough. Well, yeah, if that's something you wanted to do, then that's fine with me. I really should pick up something other than staring into books. I don't think that's probably healthy.
Maybe not, but I mean, it helps us from time to time. You're very knowledgeable.
Thank you, but sometimes it's the only thing I can really do to, to help out with it, aside from making sure we don't die.
Well, both of those things are very useful. I'm sure everyone here is glad to have you around.
Well, I appreciate that. Not to sidetrack anything, but you have talked with Millicent, right?
Yeah, yeah.
She doing okay?
I'd like to think so.
It's as fair as an answer as I can expect from that. Okay.
Best that I could tell. I also told her that I killed you that one time.
Oh! You know what? Actually, that's appreciative. I was mostly... Listen, I know... I've studied magic for long enough. I understand the whole dominate person and control and everything, and it's not the fault of the victim. But it was mostly the fact that you tried to keep it under the rug for so very long.
No comment.
Well, one step forward, I guess.
Yeah.
So, is there anything you want to know about me? Or...
Not anything in particular, to be honest. You know, this might be hard to believe, but, you know, I don't usually just sit down and get to know people all that often.
No, you're a very goal-oriented person, and most people will see it as taking a hike, where, you know, there's gonna be ups and downs, but you take your time to get there. But you see a mountain and you decide to sprint to the top.
I feel like it's a fairly fair description, I guess.
Well, that is to say, I understand that this is not normally your thing, which is why I'm not sure how to... Normally, I don't mind having a conversation like this, but for you, it's very out of the ordinary. Especially
Yeah.
with the uh, roses and chocolate.
Quite honestly, Millicent gave me that idea.
Of course you did. I should have guessed.
But I felt like I should go along with it. My book did actually mention it, though.
But can I see this book? When did you always have this book?
Yeah, I've always had it.
Can I insight check? Me
Sure.
as a player, I know I won't win. Celeste, on the other hand, is curious.
Rook, you can make whatever roll is appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Seems like he's always had it.
Okay, well,
My dad gave it to me when I was awakening, so that I would know how to act so I'd know what was right and wrong, and like how to act as a proper person.
oh, well, that actually would make sense.
This was under the relationships tab of the book.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you could look at it if you want. I'm sure it's stuff you might already know.
Probably. I was just more curious because you've had a confidence before, and you were pretty socially adept aside from obviously trying to get things to... I mean, you're still socially adept with trying to get things to go your way. But paying attention to manners and whatnot, a little bit different. I mean, I'm not bothered by it by any means. It's just a little surprising.
I'm most of the time aware of the manners that I should have.
You just choose to ignore them.
Yeah. Just how I am. I don't know. Also, I was trained as part of the intrusion, and I am like a robot. There's a lot of things in with all that.
I mean, all fair. Okay, I know you got the flowers and everything, but off
Yeah.
of Millicent's suggestion, but
Uh-huh.
like, do you have any feelings like that, or is this just more of a haha ongoing gag that's a pretty funny joke?
That's not the gag part. I know that she wants something there or something. I don't know what she thinks. I can't imagine what Millicent thinks all the time. I don't know, Celeste. I I mean, it's hard to tell. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't actually know you, so maybe I could a bit more. We get those loots and we. I don't know. What do you think? Should I turn the question back around on you?
Anyways, well, listen,
Uh-huh.
I've come to appreciate you over the time. It's just, I'm glad and happy to see more growth. And if you can continue to grow as a person and make these improvements,
Yeah.
then maybe there can be something more in the future. But
Oh wow.
I didn't
Sorry,
expect
I
that.
didn't mean. Great. Well, I guess I'll go get those loots, huh?
Well, and review some chapters in your book.
Uh-huh.
Then see if we can get a loot. Um,
Yeah.
but, uh, okay. Obviously, you got the training. You got the rundown on manners and how to act and everything.
Yeah.
Like, do you have an understanding of relationships of the romantic sort?
I mean, just from what the book says.
Can I take a quick glance?
No, and also yes, I understand. I've seen people. I know how people act with each other. I'm aware. I'm aware.
Okay. Well, we'll we'll figure things out on the fly. How about that?
Yeah, yeah.
I just all I ask is I know I can be a nag, but it's purely out of concern for well our friends and like making sure that we can come out of this alive and well, not just surviving, but well. Like I don't I Cinder's pretty like water off the back. Like he's pretty mellow guy, but Millicent's a bit more she's growing. She's
Mhm.
can get hurt, and I don't mean physically, just emotionally and I we've been through a lot and I just want to make sure that you continue to grow and if you do that, I won't be on your back nearly as much. Unless you get dominated again and then you stab me, then I'll probably gripe for a bit. But that
Yeah,
I leave
that's
that you're
fair.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
But I hope you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I
I
do care.
uh maybe along some of those lines. Just maybe maybe if you could check in on Millicent too.
Yeah.
I feel pretty shitty about all of that.
Yeah, and how much were you told about what happened in there?
She's described that my mind was pretty messed up. Saw some weird shit in there. I killed her.
Yeah.
But she got better. I think that was it. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, 'cause this is funny. I cast silent image and pop up that terrible monster that ate me.
Ah! What the fuck?
That was in your head, like 2 of them.
Ah,
One of them got turned into a turtle.
Oh.
That was
As part of my mind, it turned him into a turtle.
No, that was Cinder using polymorph because that thing hit
Uh,
me and basically eviscerated me.
oh,
Yeah, that's
well,
gonna live in my mind rent free.
yeah, that's horrible.
Oh yes. Showed up in your mind, so I'm gonna share this with you because it's funny.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Well, I can't say I've ever seen that thing before. Nor do I want to.
Let's hope that it just came from Swift and not from the bowels of your imagination.
I'm sure it was Swift, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
with that.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Alright. Well. Yeah, thanks for the coffee, I guess.
Yeah, of course. And we can go find some liars in town.
Wow. Alright.
Also, is there a draft in here? I swear there's like a breeze that keeps flicking at your coat.
Oh, right. There we go.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it lasts for like an hour if I don't turn it off. So, yeah. Alright, well, now that I come to think of it, I don't know how much liars cost, but I'm sure we can afford it.
I can cover it. It's fine.
It's fine. I got 5 platinum.
Oh.
That should cover one of them.
It would cover
And maybe,
exactly
like-
2.
Oh. And maybe they have like a book, like a liar 101. I don't know.
Liar for Dummies, yes.
Liar for dummies. Yeah.
Very familiar with that series.
Hmm. All right, great. Well, maybe we can do that tomorrow or something.
Yeah. Well.
Great. Well, I'll come bother you after I work on my dog with my dad.
That was a sentence, but I understood what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for talking. I know I can be really something else. So
Well,
yeah.
we can deal with something else now that there's not a evil goddess floating in your head.
Yeah. Great. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.
All right, Hook. Have fun.
Uh-huh. I'll just walk on out. Millicent, you were right. It worked. No.
All it took was a year of me just keep dropping those.
Millicent, you get a knock at your door.
Oh, I do? Okay. Uh-huh.
You see King standing there.
Oh. Hi!
He just brought her flowers and chocolate.
Did he really?
Yes, he's been in there for a long time.
Can I... Do you want to try to listen in?
I don't think we should do that, but it is now dawning on me that I don't know if he... You know, like the... Why am I talking to you about this?
It's Rook, he's
I don't
fine.
know if he really knows how... Okay. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, bye.
He just like
King
walks off. He's just like,
Yeah. He's like, bye.
King immediately wondering, it's like, wait, has Millicent had the talk? Oh
yeah.
no, I don't want to give the talk to her.
He's like, wait a second. The only person I have to talk to is 17.
Yeah.
Cinder probably doesn't know about it either. Oh no.
I gotta talk with all of them.
Rook would have left and like Celeste would have seen King tottering around like "Ugh."
Rook, you head out, and you just kind of like, it's like a little bit after sunset, and you just kind of bump into Frederick, who's just kind of like walking towards where you guys are. He's like, hello,
Hi.
I need to see you and your friends.
What, did something happen?
Yeah, there is someone to see you.
Can you be more specific?
He just kind of points out of the town, kind of like outside. You just see, looking outside, you see this mountain of undead about 30 paces from the outskirts of town with a figure on a horse at their head.
Just the person I wanted to talk to. Alright, well, yep, 1 second.
Yeah.
I just like walk off and I just start like fucking outside! Center! A ghost outside! They want us to talk to us! Celeste, get out of here!
What?
What?
What do you mean go?
The corpse mountain and the ghost leader wants to talk to us outside the city gates.
I'm.
I'll meet you out there.
Roll this-
Hang on.
I'm just gonna roll that important because that fails
Let's
Thank you.
relevant.
Oh no, yeah.
You guys gather,
Yeah.
and you head out towards the outside of town here, where you do see this horde of, it seems like 2 different types of undead. Half of them seem to be skeletons, all glowing with a faint greenish light in the eyes. And the other half, you think, as you approach them from a distance, they look like zombies, but you get closer and they actually seem to just be like empty husks of skin
Ew.
that are like open at the middle. And they seem to be paired with skeletons.
Oh.
And there's a lot.
Hmm.
Sitting at their head is this faintly glowing figure on a skeletal horse, who just kind of steps off and walks up to you guys as you're kind of gathered there. There's a number of people out in the town, just kind of like keeping their distance with weapons drawn. And this figure, you see, it looks, as it gets about 30 paces from you and stops, it's holding a longsword and a shield. And you can see that it looks like it used to be like a relatively handsome elven man, but the skin is pallid and kind of drooping in some places, and whole parts of his body are just kind of dissolved into dust that just kind of gently floats away from it. And it just seems to very slowly be kind of disintegrating. And you can see like parts of its torso are just kind of open air. You can see like desiccated organs. And it just kind of looks at you all.
Hello, sir. Good day we're having, huh? You wanted to speak to us?
It just kind of takes, like, laboriously, just kind of takes out the longsword and just kind of, in the grass, just kind of carves out. Seems to be writing something.
I have, like, parchment, if that'd be easier. Okay, grass it is.
Let's keep it forward.
Oh,
just-
grass.
Slowly scrawls a single word. Help.
Mhm. Oh,
Oh.
like back in Fairmont? Yeah,
Just kind of points
What-
back behind him.
with the mountain. What's the
something evil? Wow.
Was it? I remember hearing about maybe dwarves. No. Some monster.
Just kind of slowly begins to scrawl.
Okay, all right.
The sword. Just after a few moments, you see the shadow.
I don't know what that is.
Just kind of turns and
Something
gets
I
back
saw.
on the horse.
Aelith mentioned this. It was why I thought we needed to go.
Can we have
She
a
said that
ride?
there-
It
Are you sure
seems to
you
just
wanna
be
ride
the
this?
only the one horse.
Oh,
Oh, that's fair. I guess.
a ride on the
we'll
little
wait.
mountain.
I was gonna say,
Oh, I
on
guess
what,
not
the
to
mountain
follow.
of corpses?
Yeah, I don't think we want to ride on that.
I'm good not touching Corpse Mountain, actually. It's fine with me.
Okay, well.
Follow.
Turn to the other three. We'll follow.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean.
I will be right
Let me
behind
get-
you.
Let me go get the tower. Then
Yeah, it's-
sure.
It seems to not be moving very fast. It just kind of slowly turns and heads west, trailed by this horde of
Now we can catch up.
undead.
So when I was talking to Aelith about this and tried to legend lore it, she said she saw something, this like all-encompassing shadow with a single like spark of light that was afraid of being snuffed out, pushing back against it. I
Oh.
assumed he was the shadow. It seems I may have
Maybe that was,
misjudged.
it was the opposite. Alright, well. Let's just follow, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, get our stuff and follow. Head in.
All right. You follow the zombie horseman and his horde of skeletons and flesh husks to the west. And we will go ahead and stop there.
Wow.
Great.
Yay!
That was a lot.
RP
Did you enjoy
session.
your award on?
Hey,
Bunch of lore I had to invent on the spot. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Big fan.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
we're all friends here. We're all Rook's friends here, right, guys?
Yeah, we all have relationships with Brooke.
We
That's
all
basically
have
where I-
relationships.
What's the difference?
Just not all of
Yeah.
them are equally complicated.
Yeah, Millicent's my daughter, Cinder's my brother, and Celeste's question mark?
You know what? Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I know what people do in relationships. Holds hands.
What do, right?
And
I hear
And
if
your
they,
father's-
I hear if they get really far, you kiss.
that's third base.
Yeah. Isn't that home run in Millicent's mind? Like that's home run.
Hopefully
your
that-
father is traumatized watching both of his sons fall for the same moment, thinking, how is this going to play out when we put this back together?
Celeste also having that thought of just like, the other me is gonna be so disappointed in me.
You can do better.
Why? Me points to Celerio. Why?
Yeah.
What a time, folks. All right, so I think we are going to have to be off next week because of circumstances. So,
Week after? What is
the
that?
16th.
Isn't that thing? Oh no, there's a down week, then Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But the 16th, we should be back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Until then, we will we'll see you sometime. Let's see if I hit the right button this time.